Hello. Kentucky Career Center, Office of Unemployment Insurance presents a guide to pay order forms. We'll cover these common questions. What's a pay order form? Why would I need to fill out a pay order form? Where can I get a pay order form? How do I fill out a pay order form, which covers these follow-up questions? How do I report my earnings? When should I report my earnings? Overview of the other questions, and after the pay order forms are submitted. We'll begin with what's a pay order form? It's a form that asks the questions required for a Kentucky Office of Unemployment Insurance payment request, sometimes referred to as a pay order card. Pay order forms are sent by Kentucky UI staff as a last resort. It's still very important to make your payment request on schedule when possible. Kentucky UI staff may also send a pay order form to correct an accidental wrong answer from a past payment request, such as reporting an incorrect amount of earnings. These are commonly referred to as a correctional pay order form. If approved for backdating of unemployment benefits, pay order forms are likely needed to process those weeks. Why would I need to fill out a pay order form? You must self-certify that your payment request answers are complete and truthful. For auditing purposes, the Office of Unemployment Insurance needs a record of your answers. Claimants who have worked within weeks they are claiming need an opportunity to report their earnings. Failure to report these earnings would result in an overpayment. Where can I get a pay order form? Pay order forms are issued by Kentucky Office of Unemployment Insurance staff. Kentucky UI staff issue pay order forms these three ways: email, the most common method; in person, at a Kentucky Career Center local office appointment; and through the physical mail, the least common method due to the length of time it takes to receive and then send back the forms. How do I fill out a pay order form? We'll focus on the more common email pay order forms. When UI staff email a pay order form, the email usually arrives within 5 to 10 minutes from the address no reply LQOQs at ky.gov, as illustrated below. Note, we can only send to the current email address associated to your Kentucky Unemployment Insurance account. Once you open the email, you'll click on the long blue web link near the bottom. FYI, it's common to sometimes mistake the UI assistance at ky.gov email for the web link. The link within the email will expire after 10 days. Failure to submit the form within 10 days will require you to contact Kentucky UI staff in order to send the form again. The form will then pop up in your web browser once you click the link. This top section of the form contains the letterhead of the department that emailed the form to you, your name and physical address, and other information regarding your claim. These fields are already set on the form, so you cannot edit them. Below that, you should see Comp Week. This lists the week or weeks you'll be claiming on this specific form. The weeks will already be listed by UI staff. You have no ability to add or change the weeks. Pay order forms are sent in sets of 2-week or 4-week increments, as seen towards the right. 2-week pay order forms will be on one page, while 4-week pay order forms will be on 2 pages. Be sure to scroll down to the bottom in order to complete all the questions. To the right of Comp Week, you should see these four fields: dates worked, employer name or source of income, hours worked, and gross pay. Within this area is where you'll report earnings if you worked during the weeks in question. But sometimes when you select those fields, it won't allow you to enter anything. So, how do I report my earnings? Before you can report your earnings, you must answer questions 1A and 1B. If you answer no to both 1A and 1B, then none of the fields above can be filled in, as this indicates you don't have earnings to report. If you answer yes to either 1A or 1B in any variation, then all of the fields above will need to be filled in, as this indicates you do have earnings to report. In this example, we worked both weeks. But what if you worked within only one of the weeks listed on the form? Then you'll enter not applicable, NA, or 0 within the fields you didn't work. So in this example, we did not work in week 2. So we'll then put in NA, not applicable, and 0 within these fields. On a 4-week pay order form, weeks 1 and 2, and 3 and 4, each have their own set of questions. This includes 1A and 1B. So before you can enter wages for weeks 3 or 4, you'll need to scroll to the second page. Answer questions 1A and 1B for weeks 3 and 4. Then scroll back to the first page and enter your wages for weeks 3 and 4. In this example, we didn't work on week 3, but we worked during week 4. When should I report my earnings? Earnings need to be reported when earned, not when paid. So don't report based on when you received your check. And earnings need to be reported gross, before tax deductions. For example, you returned to full-time work on October 14th and 15th of 2021. Those days are within week 2 of the form, so we'll need to report those earnings. You worked a total of 12 hours those 2 days, and you earned $15 per hour. So, to calculate your earnings, you'd multiply the hours worked times your hourly wage. So 12 hours multiplied by $15 per hour, we get $180 in gross wages. And here's how you'd report that on the pay order form. First, we'd answer questions 1A and 1B, then report the wages. We didn't work week 1, but we worked week 2. And note, if you return to full-time work, don't forget to fill out question number 3. You'll put yes, you returned to full-time work, the date you returned, and the employer's name. And here's an overview of the other questions. Question number 2. During the weeks claimed above, did you refuse work, quit a job, or were fired from a job? If any of these apply to you, answer yes. Note, if you already reported this separation within your initial claim filing, then you'll answer no. This only applies to an additional separation since you originally opened your claim. Question number 3. Have you returned to full-time work? As we discussed earlier. If you answer yes to this question, you'll be required to enter the date you returned and the employer's name. Note, if you are only working part-time, you'll answer this question no. Question number 4. Are you receiving any retirement other than Social Security? If this applies to you, answer yes. and list the date your retirement or pension status changed. Note, if you already reported this retirement or pension within your initial claim filing, then you'll answer no. This only applies to a new retirement or pension change since you originally opened your claim. Question number 5. During the week or weeks above, were you able and available for full-time work each day? Let's go over some of the differences between able and available. Able means physically and mentally able to work full-time. Some examples of not being able to work full-time: an injury, illness, disability. Available, ready and willing to accept suitable full-time work. Some examples of not being available to work full-time: caretaking, being on vacation, lack of suitable transportation, and school or training. To see if you qualify for an approved training exception, contact your local Kentucky Career Center. Note, if you are limited to accepting only part-time work, you'll answer this question no. Question number 6. During the week or weeks above, were you actively seeking full-time work each day? If you are limited to accepting part-time work, you'll answer this question no. After questions 1 through 6 are answered, at the bottom, you'll need to certify that all your answers are complete and truthful by selecting the I Certify button over towards the left. If there's an unanswered question or field, you'll be prompted to complete it before proceeding. In this example, we did not complete question 1A. Once all the questions and fields are completed, and you have certified your answers, you'll select the Submit All button at the top of the form. Once you reach this screen, the individual form has been submitted. If you were sent multiple forms, you will need to go back to your email inbox and select the link within each individual email, then fill out and click Submit All on each individual form. In this example, we just completed the first form, but we were sent 3 forms altogether. So we'll need to go back to our email inbox, click on the second email, click on the second link, and then fill out the second form, then click Submit All. We go back to the inbox, click the third email, click the third link, fill out the third form, then click Submit All. We go back to our inbox and we see that we filled out all the forms that were sent to us. So repeat all the steps until all forms are submitted. And as we mentioned earlier, the links within the email will expire after 10 days. Failure to submit the forms within 10 days will require you to contact Kentucky UI staff in order to send the form again. After the pay order forms are submitted, the Kentucky UI system will attempt to process the form automatically the next business day. If unsuccessful, Kentucky UI staff are required to manually process the form. If there are no pending fact-finding investigations or disqualifications, payment should issue within approximately 5 to 7 business days. But if there are pending fact-finding investigations or disqualifications, the weeks will be credited within your Kentucky UI account, and if determined qualified in the future, the credited weeks will be retroactively released. That's why it's incredibly important to make sure all weeks have been properly requested. To check the status of your pay order form, log into your uiclaimsportal.ky.gov account, then select View Payment History. For further info on your payment history, contact the Kentucky Unemployment Call Center at 502 564 2900. This concludes a guide to pay order forms. Thank you for your time.